both be discussing British qualifications. I'm sure you're wondering, why should we be discussing British qualifications? So I'm going to relay your question to my guest. Why should we be discussing British qualifications?
So for people who are not based in the UK, an international audience, British qualifications might be relevant to you for a number of reasons. One of them might be that you want to have an internationally recognized diploma. As you know, qualifications, anything from the UK that has the backing of the government of the UK is likely to be seen as valid in other countries of the world. So that's one reason why you might want that. For some other people, it might be that they've not passed through maybe the regular types of schooling. So maybe they don't have a university degree and they want something that can stand in place of that or can ultimately become a university degree. And on that note, British diplomas, British qualifications can be really great for that because you can earn qualifications level 4, level 5. By the time you get to level 6, it's the equivalent of a degree, it's on the same level, and then you can also do a top up to a full university degree. So it can solve that problem as well. Another set of people that might be interested in it are people who are looking to immigrate. To migrate to other countries. So, for example, you want to go to a place like Canada, you need express entry, and you're thinking of how to build up your scores. So, by doing qualifications, British qualifications, if you do them and they are up to 120 credits per qualification, you can use them as the equivalent of 1 year of university level study. Again, correlating to the particular level that you did for your qualification. Apart from that, it is obviously a good diploma to have to use for work, especially in places like the UK, in Europe, in Australia, in New Zealand, and in several other parts of the world.
That's really interesting, because you're reading it out and I'm seeing the benefits sitting right here talking to you. Now, the question is, if it's that beneficial, if there are things that people can use to gain, access to British level education, if there are boosters for their career, their international career, because the truth is, there are many Nigerians that would like to, many people from other parts of the world as well, who would like to build careers internationally. So if this is going to offer, then I think we all should be paying attention to what you're saying. Now, that said, if I also know that British qualifications are very expensive because the UK is one of the most expensive countries in the world, how would an average person even afford to do it? And do we have to go all the way to the UK to do a British qualification? And I heard you talk about level 4, level 5, level 6. What exactly are you talking about? What are they?
Okay, so first of all, you don't have to go all the way to the UK. It's possible to, in most cases, do qualifications through accredited centers. And I think to understand that, we need to understand a little about the British qualification system. So you see, the system deals mainly with what is called awarding bodies. Awarding bodies are organizations that have been set up to award such qualifications. So they are not universities because they don't have degree awarding powers, but they have the power to award qualifications. And these qualifications are regulated by a number of bodies. The UK is actually separate nations, so there are separate bodies that are in charge of doing this for the UK. But the most known of them, the most popular, is known as Ofqual, the Office for Examinations and Qualifications Regulation or something like that. So Ofqual regulates these qualifications. And if you're an awarding body, you're registered with Ofqual or with any of the other ones, SQA, that's the Scottish Qualifications Agency. There is also Qualifications Wales. So if you're registered with any of them, you are known as an awarding body. And such awarding bodies are able to offer those qualifications through centers. So they have centers all over the UK. But the interesting thing is that they also have international centers. So there are centers in other parts of the world, including in Nigeria. And so if you go for training with an accredited center, then you can get the same qualification that you would have gotten in the UK. And the good news is then local pricing comes in, because yes, you're paying for the qualification, you're paying for that in pounds or in the pound equivalent, but the training is done with the local pricing factor. And so at the end of the day, you're spending just a fraction of what you would have paid in the UK to gain that same British credential.
Wow, that's interesting. I definitely should be doing a qualification. Yes, because I mean, that's right there is a door opener. Now, before this show, I was talking to someone, just to have an idea of these British qualifications and how important they are. And this person said to me, oh, she did a level 2 qualification, and if she had done a level 5, she would have been able to get a managerial position. And I'm like, really? Are these qualifications really that prestigious?
I think that it is a good idea to understand the concept of frameworks. So around the world, in virtually every country on earth, there are frameworks. And I'm talking in the educational context now. There are frameworks. These frameworks are the ways that the countries or the authorities of the countries are devised to be able to evaluate qualifications and to be able to decide on equivalencies, particularly for the vocational sector or the non-academic sector, because you know that there are certain people who are going to do qualifications that they're not necessarily going through the regular route of secondary school to university and all of that. So that you can evaluate the equivalencies for that, you need frameworks. So in New Zealand, it's known as the New Zealand Qualifications Framework. In Australia, it's known as the Australian Qualification Framework. In Europe, it's known as the European Qualifications Framework. And there is also the one for the UK. So the UK has its own framework. In fact, Nigeria, where we are, has its own framework. It's known as the National Skills Qualifications Framework.
Wow.
And what you see in polytechnics, in colleges of education, in all our colleges that are skill-based, goes back to that framework. So in Nigeria, we have what is known as the NVQs, the National Vocational Qualifications. And so if you do an OND in Nigeria, it is routed to a particular NVQ level. OND, that's now known as National Diploma, National Innovation Diploma. So that's a level. And then the level that is next to that is HND, Bachelor's Degree. That's according to Nigeria's way of evaluating. In fact, I think that's Nigeria's level 5. Yes. Bachelor's degree is Nigeria's NVQ level 5. So all those things exist in Nigeria as well. That's the point I'm trying to make. Because Nigeria actually takes after the British system. But, as you know, some of those things are not well known around here. And maybe they are also very misunderstood around here as well. So back to the British system. The British system boasts of, a very organized set up around all of these. Right now in the UK, there is what is known as the RQF, Regulated Qualifications Framework, which guides how these regulated qualifications are awarded, and it has a lot of implications. There's the mention of what is known as total qualification time, guided learning hours, and all of that. But very importantly, it is awarded in levels. So you have level 1, level 2, level 3, 4, 5, up till I think level 8 or so. And the ones that are relevant to people who are seeking undergraduate and graduate level study would begin from level 4. So level 3 basically is like the equivalent of A levels. It's that level. So level 4 is like completing 1 year of undergraduate level study. The British system works, in the British system you have 3 years for undergraduate level study, not like Nigeria where it is 4 years. So when you're done with your first year of British education in Nigeria, that would actually be like 200 level. And then there is level 5, which is the equivalent of the second year of British undergraduate level study. There's level 6, which is the final year, the third year, or what in Nigeria would be like the 4th year of undergraduate level education. The implication of this is that if you have a level 6 qualification, you're on the same level as somebody who has a bachelor's degree. They are not exactly the same thing, but they are on the same level. So what many people choose to do is that they say, instead of moving around with a level 6 qualification, they would decide that they want a bachelor's degree instead. And so from level 5, they just go into university for their final year. That is called a top-up. So they do 1 year of university and they are done. They have a bachelor's degree. Some other people would have a level 6 qualification and then they would find a university that allows them to do a dissertation so that they can convert it into a bachelor's degree. So basically that's it. If you go for level 7 is on the same level as a master's degree. In the British system, that would be known as a postgraduate diploma. It cannot be a master's because, again, the qualifying body, the awarding body, does not have degree awarding powers. And so you cannot do a dissertation, a master's level dissertation with an awarding body. So what many people would do in that kind of situation again would be find a university after obtaining a level 7 qualification and simply write a dissertation. It takes a much smaller amount of time. It costs far less in the UK, and that way they still end up with a master's degree. There is level 8, which is on the same level as a PhD as well, but that's not as common as the other levels that I mentioned earlier.
Interesting. So if I get you correctly, and also based on something a friend said, it sounds like in the UK, what they really look at is the level. So it doesn't matter the pathway per se that you used or that you went through to achieve that level. So whether it's a graduate diploma or a BSc, as long as it's a level 6, then that is what is important. Is that what you're trying to say?
So as long as it's a level 6, even if it's a bachelor's degree is also a level 6 qualification. So if it is a level 6 qualification, it is a level 6 qualification. And that means that if you're trying to maybe immigrate, get certain types of jobs, especially things that have the stamp of the government, a level 6 qualification is going to be seen as a level 6 qualification. If you are in a context where you feel that people would prefer, you being able to say you have a first degree, you have a bachelor's degree, then I would say go for a top-up and top it up so that you can have something awarded by a university as well. It will cost you far less, you wouldn't spend what you would have spent pursuing the regular UK education since you're doing just that top-up year. It will cost you much less and it would still be as valid as if you had done it all the way in a university setting.
Okay, so but then I'm also aware that in the level 6 you can go on to do a master's.
Oh yes.
And it's accepted in all British universities. And in fact, I think it's accepted, just like you said, as long as the qualifying body or the awarding body or the equivalence body recognizes it, then it can easily be transferred.
I think that one thing that must be mentioned is that with all of these things, merely having a certificate in itself is not what makes you eligible for entry into maybe master's level study or something else. The truth is that at the end of the day, there are several factors that a school is going to consider, such as your admissions essay, such as your motivation, such as your grades. So there are several factors that come into play. And so it is important to note that having a level 6 qualification, having even a bachelor's degree, which is also a level 6 qualification, does not in itself qualify you for the next level. There can be other factors that will come into play as well. But yes, a level 6 diploma is very valid and it can be used for things including going for master's level study.
Now, I'll ask a final question. For the benefits of those who, I already have my level 6, but since we're talking about UK qualifications, it sounds good. I want to have a global career and all of that, but I'm a graduate. Does it still make sense for me to maybe do maybe a level 4 in something? Would it give me better chances, or should I just consider, going to do my master's in the UK or something?
So it really depends. For certain fields, doing a level 4 qualification, even after you finished with a first degree, can be a very good idea, because there are times when you want to show that you have knowledge in maybe a completely different area. For example, maybe I studied course A, and then I want to show that I am also able to function in a role that requires knowledge of course Z. I can just go for a level 4 qualification. If I like, I can do level 5, level 6, or I can stick to just the level 4. That way it shows that I have a full year of undergraduate level study, meaning it's very fundamental in that particular course. Besides, one other reason, and I think that this is a very important reason, one other reason why a lot of people, particularly people from Nigeria, people from Asia and other parts of the world, one reason why they go for level 4 qualifications even after finishing with their bachelor's degrees is Canada, express entry. So this is the interesting thing. Canada has interesting ways of evaluating people's readiness for migrating into that country. And as we all know, Canada is a very popular destination for migrants or for would-be migrants. So if you're trying to apply for express entry, one of the things that you need to present is an evaluation of your credentials, so that the country that you're trying to move into has a good idea of the kinds of educational qualifications or the kind of educational level that you are on. Now, if you say you have maybe a first degree, that carries a number of points. If you have a master's degree, you have even more points. If you have 2 or more degrees, then that also goes with a number of points that is higher than if you have just 1 degree. And so what many people do is they have a first degree and then they go ahead and still go in for a level 4 qualification, because in that case, with the level 4 qualification, as long as it is a standard British diploma, it is 120 credits or above, it is Ofqual regulated, it meets all the criteria that I have been talking about, then they can use that as proof of undergraduate level study in another discipline, and so they can claim 2 or more degrees. And so it's usually interesting because that helps them to boost their CRS scores, and so they can use that for express entry. I think that is one of the biggest reasons why people go for level 4 qualifications even after already having degrees. Of course, I know of other people who do it for work. I know of somebody who wanted to become a chef, and I think she had a degree in biology or something like that. And so she decided to do a level 4 qualification, a level 4 diploma in culinary arts. And so for her, that was her entry into that world of culinary arts. We must remember that a lot of these Ofqual diplomas they represent a vocational pathway. So even though you might have done a first degree, it's not exactly the same, because that's an academic pathway. The level 4 qualification, on the other hand, is more of a vocational pathway. So it's not a waste. Doing both is definitely not a waste.
Swim Institute now offers?
Oh yes, so we offer British diplomas at Swim Institute. If you are interested in British diplomas that are at least 120 credits per level, you can come over to our institute. You can do level 4, level 5, level 6 qualifications here. We offer the diplomas in business management, we offer in information technology, we offer in tourism and hospitality management. So if you're interested in any of these courses, if you'd like to come for a level 4, level 5, or level 6 diploma, or if you would like to follow the complete pathway, for you it might be that you're doing that as your way of going to school, getting a degree, having formal education, having British education, opening yourself up for the world, opening yourself up and having that valid credential that can be accepted anywhere. You can come over to the TWIM Art Institute. TWIM Institute is located in Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. We have hostels, so if you're not based in Ibadan, feel free to come over. There are hostels that you can stay in. You can check our website. The link is displayed. Go to our website, twiminstitute.com. You can find out more information there. You can also give us a call. You can chat us up on WhatsApp. Again, the details are shown on the screen. So you can get in touch with us and we will be happy to put you through.
Okay, so you've heard directly from the horses from the gentleman's mouth. Come to the TWIM Arts Institute to get your higher education diplomas, higher education qualifications. So it's been really great having you on the show. It's great knowing that we don't have to travel all the way to the UK to access this. And it's also great knowing that, once we are done, we're able to use it to build global careers, to migrate to other countries, to basically get a life beyond what we have all been used to, which is fantastic. Thank you once again for coming on the show. Again, the details will keep scrolling on screen, so feel free to call the numbers showing, check the website www.twiminstitute.com. Visit the office in Ibadan and get the details you require. And, if you want to do this, you probably should act on it right away. Don't postpone. Thank you for being a part of the show today. Thank you for coming to the show. It's been great having you.
Thank you.